Hey there, it's Odette Peak at the Speak from Your Soul and Sell in 6 Minutes or Less program. I'm super excited to have you guys all here today. So I wanted to, on this first call, I wanted to kind of do a preview of what to expect, some of the housekeeping stuff, and then dive into some of the training. Now, and I'm also going to tell you a little bit about myself in case you have forgotten since the webinar, since we've had a conversation. So the Speak from the Soul program is really about three things. There's three components to it. And the first component is around sharing your story. It's uncovering what I call your soul story, uncovering what your soul story moments are, and you'll know more about what that means in a moment. And it's also about writing your talk and having a signature talk written for an audience that is going to be inspired by your story. And then the third component is around selling, is how to be really comfortable selling from the front of the room, making an offer from the front of the room. And an offer can be anything from my free download of, like in my case, How Big Is Your Butt? Learn the 7 ways you sabotage your own success, to a $50 program, a $200 program, a $10,000 program. Some people might be at $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 programs, whatever it is for you. It's about how to be able to share your story in a talk that is so captivating, that does three things. That motivates your audience emotionally. So it moves your audience emotionally. You touch their heart and their soul. That it stimulates them intellectually, so that you're giving them content and education for them to go, okay, I get this. This is what I can go and do and take action and see results in my business or in my life. And then the third component is the moving people into action, which I think is the most important piece, in the sense that you can have a great talk and a great story, but if the audience doesn't do anything with it, then what's the point? They've been inspired and they've liked you for 15, 20 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, but have they taken action? And I am all about taking action. So the Speak from the Soul and Sell in 6 minutes or less is really about helping you move yourself into action, grow your business, but also grow your audience into getting them to do something that they wouldn't already have done before your talk. So there's a whole bunch of moving parts here that I'm going to be able to share with you over the 7 modules, and then the 2 hot seat calls. And we, for some of you, have that quick start one-to-one private call with me. And the Facebook forum, can't forget about the Facebook forum, where you're going to get the coaching and the tips from me and the people in the program. But it's to be able to take you through a journey, and it's going to be an emotional journey. It's going to be an amazing journey, and you're going to come out of it the other side with getting to know you'll know yourself that much better. You'll know your story. You'll know what I call your emotional theme. You'll know what your point of view is, and all stuff. I'm just totally seeding all this stuff, right? To spark your interest and keep you interested in me right now. So I digress. So getting you through all of that, but at the end of it, I want you to have a talk written so that you can go out and start speaking on stage or in front of rooms or on webinars or online or wherever it is. I want you to have your talk written. And I want you to be able to own your story, take your story to that next level. Take your talk to the next level, take your selling ability to the next level, so that you are making tens of thousands of dollars with every talk, whether it's a 2-minute talk or a 60-minute talk or a full day event. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'm going to be teaching you all of that. So my mission here on earth is really to help as many people in this world uncover what their soul story is and teach them how to share it with the world. Because I believe that when you know your own story and you are okay with your own story, because there's a lot of people that aren't okay with their own story, their backstory, and then to be able to share it with the world, if you inspire one person, then the world is a different place automatically. So it's about creating impact with your story and doing it in a compelling and a captivating way that eliminates distraction, that gets people's attention and holds their attention. Because the biggest problem in today's world, we're very much an ADD society. It's to eliminate distraction from people. Because face it, like, who has their phone sitting right beside them? Me, right? How many browser tabs have you got open right now? That kind of thing. The phone ringing, which barely doesn't happen anymore nowadays, right? So it's eliminating the distractions from not only the stuff that's going on in your own head, but from your audience, so that the moment you step out on stage, and that's when your presentation starts, not from the moment you have tapped the mic to make sure it's okay or whatever. It is the moment you step out, you're introduced, and it's like, as an example, okay, let's welcome Odette Peak, right? That's the moment that you're on stage. That is the moment that you start captivating your attention and eliminating all distraction. And we only have seconds in which to do that, seconds in which to grab people's attention and then hold their attention. It sounds like it would be easy, but it's really not. So one of my clients who's gone through the Speak from the Soul program live and in person a couple of years ago, she did her talk, and I really teach the 5-6 minute talk, and I teach you how to expand it. One of the things that she said to me a couple of years later was, since the program, not only is her talk rocking it out and she's making a lot of money from her talk, she sees now how other speakers don't get attention, hold the attention. They don't eliminate distraction. They don't move people, the audience, on an emotional journey. They don't take them from down and out to inspired and motivated. And you'll be able to see that. So I also want you to be super aware of the type of speaking that you'll be doing. I teach high-level speaking. I teach people to become amazing, fantastic speakers, not just cookie cutter, boring speakers. And one of the tools that I'm going to have you do, or one of the homework is now that you're in a speaking program, in a story program, to take a look next time you're out at an event and you're watching someone speak. Start to take a look at what are they saying? How are they moving the audience? Take a look at the audience. That's what I do. I always sit at the back of the room. Hair piece. Oh my God, there's like a hair going here. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, this is what you need to do just before you get on stage. Just make sure there's no hair out of place. Is I sit at the back of the room and I go, okay, who's doing what? And it's really important to me because it helps me understand what audiences' needs are by taking a look at a great speaker, a not so great speaker, a horrible speaker. Right? We've all heard about those people. So this is about taking you and your speaking and your business to the next level. So I'm going to cover off some housekeeping because I'm not the greatest at that. Let me see. So there's 7 modules. So you are going to be getting training modules that I'm going to be walking you through the step-by-step process of what you need to do to uncover your story, write your talk, determine what the different call to actions are, how to deliver a talk, all of that stuff. And you're going to get that in an email, so I don't want to waste time here talking about that. You're going to get an email that will outline everything that you're going to get in the calls. I have a lot of action sheets, so there's going to be pre-work that can be done before calls or should be done before calls, and then there'll be work done for the next call. So in between, you'll be working. And I'm going to give 2 additional hot seat calls, which is really important because it gives you an opportunity to ask any questions or challenges or have me review your talk, be laser focused on what it is that you need. And then that way you get some one-to-one coaching. There's also the Facebook forum. Ask any question on the forum and post all of your action sheets and things like that, so that you can get coaching from me, from my team, and interact with people that are in the program. There's people at different levels of the program who have just starting the program, who have taken the program. Once you take the program, you stay in the community. So that's another great thing, because if you're new to speaking, new to business, new to the program, there are people who are alumni that you can ask them anything, and they'll be happy to help you out. So what else do we have for housekeeping? I'm so horrible at this. If you have any issues, I want to make sure that you email hello@odettepeak.com. Or else you can also post a question in the forum as well, and my team will be happy to answer that. You will get the private coaching from me as well in the forum. Just tag me and say, hey, Odette, I have a question. And I get on there a couple of times a day and I check them. And if you have a quick start one-to-one call, and if you don't know what that is and you want to find out, contact my team at hello@odettepeak.com and we'll get you hooked up. But that's an opportunity to have a conversation with me privately on the telephone to kind of navigate you through wherever your starting point is to what that next level will look like. So I'm going to also point out that when we're doing the uncovering of the story bit and the soul story moments, which are your life experiences, there's an exercise that I'm going to have you do, and I think it starts in module 2, that it's called Going Through the Ages. And what that is having you discover your life, basically from the time that you remember, so age 1 to the age that you are now. And it's going to be quite moving, therapeutic. So I am going to encourage you that if there's anything that's in your past that is traumatic, and you haven't got any counseling on, or you feel that there might be some triggers when you start to go back through your life and remember the times in your life, I want to make sure that you're fully supported. I'm here to support you, but if you need counseling, or you've got a doctor that you're working with on any issues that you have, you want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually with this, and as well as physically, because when you do the when you do the work of going through the ages and uncovering your life experiences, your soul story moments, that you may get triggered. So I'm just saying that right now, right off the hop, that you want to do what you need to do to keep yourself safe, secure, and all of that. And by all means, reach out to me, okay? So just throwing that out there. We are going to dive deep into not just surface level story, but we're diving in deep into the soul story level. And it's amazing, and it's going to be so transformational for both you and for your audience. So what else have I got for housekeeping? I think we're good. Oh, you want to make sure that you whitelist hello@odettepeak.com. I would whitelist client care at odettepeak.com as well, because once you're in the system and you're now a client, then you'll be getting emails from both. So make sure that you whitelist both of those so that you don't miss anything. You're going to get weekly reminders for the training calls, and I usually do a pop-in during the week with a little check-in email to say, hey, how you doing? Keep it on track. I encourage you to reach out if you're feeling stuck, if you want to celebrate. If you've got, if anything, just reach out to us for absolutely anything, and we're happy to help and support you. And you will be notified when the hot seat calls are, because those are, they're not set yet in the calendar. And the quick start call, like I said, will pop on, and you and I will book that privately, or you'll do that when you email hello@odettepeak.com. Okay, I think I've covered enough of that stuff. Okay, so question number 1 that I want you to ask yourself is, what are your goals for speaking? What are your goals in this program? What's the intention? What would you like to walk away with? And it's very important that you know that, because, and then post that in the forum so that we're all aware, so that you want to make sure that you're on target with meeting your goals and you're living the intention that you had hoped. So it's my intention that you uncover your soul story moments, you write a talk, you learn how to get comfortable selling different offers from the front of the room, and that you get practice time as well, that you learn how to deliver. What I'd love to have at the end of the program in call 7 is you'll be doing a video of your talk if you're comfortable. I'm not going to force everybody, but that is part of the program. And it's a really great part of the program too, because you get to see yourself in action. So, and then I get to see yourself in action. So it'll be kind of great. So I want you to stay tuned for a couple of other live events that I have coming up as well. In person, so real live events, not online, and that's about it. So let's dive in. Now, you have had some pre-work that you hopefully have done and completed. That's the point. You want to come prepared for each call. So I'm going to screen share a couple of the things that I want, the 2 of the freebies that you got, the Ultimate Guide to Speaking and the Talk Template. I want to make sure that you have those, so I'm going to pop those on the screen so you know what I'm talking about. And okay, so here is, oh, well, you know what? Hang on a sec. I'm going to do the screen share. Okay, here we go. Okay, here is the Make $40,000 in One Talk template. Yes, I have made a lot of money in a 2-minute talk, a 3-minute talk, a 5-minute talk. I want that for you too. So you would have received this at the somewhere when you were found this on Facebook, on the ad, on the webinar, on emails. But if you don't have it, you now have it again. So you want to make sure that you, for all the emails that you get, by the way, before I forget, is create a file on your computer that has all of this information so that you don't lose it and you can access it at any time, because this is yours to keep forever. So this is the talk template where I walk you through steps 1 to 10 on how to structure your talk. Now, we're going to get into more detail in a few modules, but right now for module 1, this is just really for your information. And I want to make sure that you have this. Okay? So that's the make $40,000 in one talk template. The next is the ultimate. Okay. I got to remember to screen share first. Okay. So now we have the ultimate guide, the 5 things that you need to have and do. So this is a really cool document that you'll be using a little bit later on, but it's kind of nice to know what's up and coming for you. So this is the 5 things that you need to have and do in order to, once you have a talk written, to be able to go to event planners and coordinators, say, hey, here's my video, here's my sizzle reel, here's my speaker one sheet. So I want to make sure that you know ahead of time of what will be expected for you to do once your talk is written, but you can also get started with this as well. So the 5 things that you need to have, a great headshot, a speaker bio, speaker video, you want to have maybe a couple of topics or just one topic, and testimonials. So those are the 5 things that you need to have. Then there's the 5 things that you need to do. You need to decide who you best serve, and I've got a lot of great freebies that I'm going to be throwing into the modules, into the calls. So you don't have everything right off the hop, but there's a really great audio that I'm going to be gifting you that will help you decide who you best serve. So it's like getting inside of your client's head. Number 2, you want to practice. Practice is key. You need to market yourself, have that perfect pitch, and I've got a great handout for that. It's a marketing message that will help you with your perfect pitch. And getting ahead of the game. So I also have a bonus for everyone, which is the $1 Million Rolodex. So stay tuned for that. It's an ever-evolving, huge document that gives you online and offline places to speak. And they include podcasts, radio shows, TV shows, teleseminars, telesummits, webinars, and in-person gigs. And for most of them, they have the contact information. So that's why I call it the $1 Million Rolodex, because it really has made myself and clients $1 million. So I want that for you too. So stay tuned. You will be getting that as well. Okay, so that is the ultimate guide. You want to make sure that you have that. Okay. Now, I'm throwing this in here because I want you to work on some mindset stuff. I'm a big believer in mindset is the power for it all, as opposed to just strategy. And I wrote a guide when I first started coaching. It's called How Big Is Your Butt? Why You're Hiding Behind It and How to Break Free. And it's an audio and a PDF, but this version here is the PDF download. And it's the 7 things that you do that potentially can sabotage your results that you get in anything that you do. And I'm not going to go through it here, but I want you to read it. That's why I put it in here. Because you can have the greatest talk and the greatest strategy and be super fabulous speaker. But if your mindset is comparing yourself to other people and you find yourself lacking, or you think you're not good enough, or you think you're being judged so you don't make an effort, that's going to get in the way, and we want to be able to curb that. So that's why I'm giving you the How Big Is Your Butt. So it's just a 4-page document. It's a really easy read, but very, very profound. So you want to make sure that you file all of these handouts that I'm giving you. Okay, so that's the How Big Is Your Butt. Now I want to dive into the action sheet number 1. So this is the pre-homework that you would have done prior to this call. So I want to walk through this homework. So what's important here, and I'm probably not screen sharing again. You can tell my weakness, right? Is not techie. Okay. Now the reason why I put this together and I wanted this to be pre-homework is because I want to know where you're at. In order to create something whether it's a talk or a business or $1 million, or even if it's a relationship, right? Whatever, if there's something that you want that you don't have, you need to know where you're starting from. So this document here is really key, and it needs to be filled out to the best of your ability. This isn't speed homework, by the way. This is thought-provoking homework. So you need to know exactly where you're at. So the first question is, who are you? And I know it sounds like maybe it's a weird question, like, I don't know, who am I, right? And people are probably going to write, or if you have written, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. And that's great. That's kind of the roles that you play in this life. But who are you? Get deep with who you are. Get deep with what you want for your life. So these questions are really in and around getting that baseline. So I don't want to give too much away if you haven't done the work. But if you have, that's great. And if you haven't, take this learning. And that's think, not surface. I don't want surface stuff. That's stuff that you're already doing anyways. I want deeper level. So I want below the ground, below the earth. I want soul stuff. So you've got your surface level, you've got your head stuff, and then you've got your heart and soul. That's how I want you to answer these questions. So who are you? What do you really want? What do you want for your life? And what do you want for your business? And why do you want it? Okay. And who do you want to help? I was talking to a client the other day, and we've done a lot of work, and what often happens in business and when you're working on this stuff is you kind of hit a wall. And we always have to go back to the basics. So this exercise, this action sheet, always think that if you get stuck, go back to these questions. Because the three most important questions are, who are you? I'll say four maybe. Who are you and what do you do? Right? Who are you and what do you do? Right? What is your what? The next question is your why. Why do you want to do it? Right? What's the why behind it? What's the passion behind it? And then the third question is, who do you do it for? When you know those three things, and then you hit a wall, you go back to these things and you do a check-in with yourself again. Why am I doing this? Right? Why am I working weekends and nights and getting paid less than if I worked in a day job? All that kind of stuff. Sometimes all we have is our why. And I want you to know that it's going to be perfectly normal that shit will hit the fan. You'll crash and burn and all that kind of stuff. The key is I don't want you to crash and burn and stay there. It's a crash and burn and let's get back up. Okay? So it's not even a crash and burn. That may not be the right language. Maybe it's just you hit a wall and you don't want to stay facing the wall. You want to be able to back away from the wall. You want to look up and you go, I'm climbing that damn wall. That's what we want for you, and that's what these action sheets are all about. But specifically action sheet one is probably one of the most profound because it's your baseline of where you're at. And when you're done the program, you're able to go back to action sheet one and go, wow, I was there and now I'm here. Like I was there and now I'm here. So it's pretty awesome. How are you currently helping the people that you serve? How much do you charge? And how does that make you feel? Everything comes down to, in my opinion, how it makes you feel. Now, there was that one time, not too long ago, but a couple of years ago, which really in the grand scheme of things isn't that long ago, I didn't care how I felt. It was like, when I have this and I do this, then I'm going to be that, and then I'm going to feel this. It's the other way around. Right? We don't know how long we have on this earth. So you want to be able to feel a certain way, joy, peace, amazing, have gratitude, faith, all of that. And then do the work and run your business with those feelings. For me, I always felt that was last, but now I've realized that it's first. So although it is the last question, and that's on purpose, because I want you to kind of go through the exercise and then to really plop down, now that you know who you are, how much you charge, who you serve and all of that, and what you want your business to look like. How does that make you feel, right? Because I know if I use that question at the beginning, it'll be like, I want to feel amazing, I want to feel joyful, I want to ease and flow and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes the reality of answering those questions first, you go, wow, I only charge whatever, $100 for my coaching for 6 months, right? Kind of thing. I feel like crap for that. So therefore you go back and you go, I should be charging more. So there's a method to my madness for everything I do. So if you haven't done the work, please, I encourage you to get this work done before you move on to any other work. because A, it's baseline, and 2, it's crucial that you do this before you go into action sheet number 2. All right, so I'm going to get rid of that. Stop sharing. And let me just have a quick peek here to make sure that I didn't miss one. I got that one, I got that one. I'm not going to put this up, but what we have as well in the pre-call 1 work is an audio called Vision Planning and a handout. So the Vision Planning audio and the handout, they get done together. So the handout is work that you can do prior to the call or use along with the call. But the point that I gave it to you, it's part of a program that I have called Break Barriers and Be Successful, and I'm gifting it to you because I want you to get super clear on what your vision is for your life and for your business. Without a clear vision, we have any, like where you want to go, where you want to end up, you have no idea how you're going to get there. The biggest problem in today's world, and maybe, I don't know if this is, I'm going to say in today's world only because I'm in today's world, is that we ask the question how, right? So as an example for business, we go, okay, how do I build a business? How do I get clients? What do I, how? And it's the last question that you should be asking. You need to ask who you are, who do you serve, why do you want to do what you do, why do you want to serve those people, where are they, when am I going to do it? So it's the I'm going to get this wrong. It's the why, what, where, when, and then the how. So how actually never needs to be answered if all of those other questions are answered properly. So that's what the vision planning does for you. It gets you crystal clear on that end game. And I think I have I do a visual exercise with you, but is paint that picture of you sort of end stage of life, like, I don't know, whatever, 85 years old, 95, 105, whatever it is for you. Where are you? Paint that picture of where you are, who's with you, what are you doing, and then you do a reflection on your life and on your business. So I take you to the end and I bring you backwards. So I reverse engineer everything. So just keep that in mind. If you're not a reverse engineer type of person, you will be by the end of this program. But it's very important. So I encourage you to do the vision planning, audio, and the handouts at least 2 times. At least. Because the first time you do it, you're getting that surface level stuff, and a lot of stuff will percolate, and you go, oh, I never thought of that. I'll do it this way. And then when you go through it a second time, you're going to hear so many different things that you didn't hear the first time. And then the third time you do it, and the fourth time you do it, and the fifth time, you're going to hear so many more things. So I have my clients who have purchased the program or have done any program that I have, and they have this. I encourage them to listen to this on a regular basis, at minimum every quarter, because you want to stay connected to your vision. You want to stay connected to your why. You want to stay connected to who you are, but who you want to become, because this is a journey of becoming, not just of staying where you're at, right? Because then what would be the point? So you want to make sure that you do the audio and the handout, and that is going to be, that has already been given to you in the pre-email. If you didn't get it, please let us know, because I make sure that maybe we're in your spam. So you got to check your spam for us. Okay, so that's the pre-stuff. So I'm really setting up the foundation here. And so let's move on to the work that you're going to be doing after this call, because I'm going to walk you through it. But then when you get off this call and before call number 2, you want to make sure that you do this work. So I'll pull it up here. Action sheet number 2. See how creative I am with these things? I don't want to be all flowery with this stuff, because otherwise we won't know what we're doing. Okay, screen share. Here we have action sheet number 2. So I'm going to walk you through this. I should make sure I've covered everything here. Once again, like I say, please answer in as much detail. Since you've done the action sheet number 1, and if you haven't, I almost don't want you to look at this, but action sheet number 1 is the baseline, right? Where you are now, how much money you're making, all of that. Action sheet number 2, it takes you down a deeper level. So the first question that I have is, what do you want? Now I'm asking you, what do you really want? And there's a huge difference. absolutely, tremendously a huge difference. It's not about what you think you should want, what you think you should do, and what you should charge, and what you, based on what other people think that you should do. This is based on what you really want. And if you've done action sheet number 1 and you've done the vision planning, and you go to action sheet number 2, stuff is going to start popping for you. You're going to be like, you're right. What I wrote was surface level. I have to go dig deep of what I really want, what position that I really want to hold in the marketplace and in the world. Right? What do you really want to do? This is huge. And I remember many years ago, a coach asked me, what do you want? And I answered it in a way that I felt like it was the answer that she wanted to hear. And then she said, well, are you sure that's what you really want? And then I said, no, what I really want is this. And so one of the, to be honest with you, so I said, I really want to be a coach, and I want to coach people, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, okay. And then she kind of looked at me, she said, what do you really want? I said, I really want to be a speaker, like a motivational speaker. And then, so it was interesting because this was, going back at least 8 years now. And I was afraid to say that because, I heard that speaking, people who speak or get paid to speak, it's really hard to do, and you gotta be super famous and all of that. That's what I had in my head. But it's really what I wanted to do. And so there was a disconnect. And I knew I wanted to coach people. So I started off as generalized business coach, teaching people how to, money, marketing, messaging, all of that. And my passion is being a speaker, a motivational speaker, and moving people into action. And the coaching part is teaching people how to be speakers, teaching people how to uncover their story and share their story. That is what I really wanted, but I didn't know that back then because I didn't really get tapped into that. So I don't want it to take you 8 or 9 years to figure out what you really want to do. I want you to figure that out now. The next question is, why do you really want to make a change? And this is sort of an important question around the why of, it's not just why do you want to do something, because we hear it all the time. I want to save the world. I want to, save the whales and blah, blah, blah. I get it. That's awesome. But get deeper with why you want to save the whales, right? Or why you want to change the world. And a question that's not on this, I want you to write down is, ask the question to yourself when you're saying, why do I really want to make a change? Well, any of these questions really. You ask the question, you respond to the question with, so what, who cares? So why do you really want to make a change? Well, actually, let me come up a little. Why do you really want what you want? So it's a little bit more direct. I want to save the world. Okay. Why do I want to save the world? Because I think that there's a lot of injustice in the world. So what? Who cares? Well, because there's a lot of injustice, a lot of people that are getting hurt. Okay. So what? Who cares? Well, the people that are getting hurt are people who are our next generation, and they're women. They're people of all different races. People that have a disability. Okay, so what? Who cares? Well, but because the people with a disability, they need to be heard. They need to be seen, right? They have equal status here on earth like everybody else, right? So do you see how you just keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper? And the whole Me Too campaign, or whatever you want to call it, is out there in the world. Women are actually now taking a stand. Men, are taking a stand for this Me Too movement that's happening out there. And when you ask the question of, so what, who cares, you can really dig deep with that, right? We can totally dig deep with that. So whatever it is that you want to make a difference in this world, keep asking the question, so what, who cares? It sounds a little harsh, but I can promise you, when you go through this exercise, it's going to fire you up. You're going to get pumped. You might get mad. You might get pissed off. You might go, well, fuck. I have a bit of potty mouth, so I hope you're okay with that. It's like, you get to the root of it. You get to the soul of what it is that you want to change. And that is what is super important, as opposed to you're just going to get to the surface level of what you want to change in this world. How does it make you feel? That is going to be a huge piece for you, because when you get fired up around the issue that you want to, the pain that you want to solve in this world, if it doesn't make you a little hot under the collar, then you either have the wrong movement that you're trying to get, or you're just not passionate about it. So you need to get passionate about it. What's holding you back? The how big is your butt will help with the what's holding you back. The vision exercise will help you with what's holding you back. All of the stuff I give you will help you with that. But you need to know what fear is holding you back, what lack money mindset or lack of drive or what am I trying to say? I have fears, of course I do, but I've worked so much on them that I can't even, come up with examples. So let me go back to my limiting belief times. Like the fear of being seen, the fear of being heard, the fear of what will people think, the fear of judgment. Let's face it, you're being judged no matter what. I'm being judged right now. All good. So take a look at what is holding you back. And I'm going to challenge you. What people in your life are holding you back? This is a biggie for a lot of people. What people in your life, whether they're alive or dead, are holding you back? What stories are you telling yourself, or the stories that were told to you that are holding you back? Okay. And what do you want people to feel, think, and do as a result of your message? This is a powerful, powerful question, because this is about action. So it's action of thinking, action of feeling, and action of doing. And one of the most important questions when you become a speaker, when you have a talk written, is because you want to be able to move people into action. So remember the three things: move people emotionally, stimulate them intellectually, and then move them into the action that you want them to take. Not just any loosey-goosey action, but the one that you want them to take. So action sheet number 2 needs to be done before call number 2 if you want to stay in the game of the program and if you want to stay ahead. And take your time, right? Take your time with this. Write it out, leave it, go back to it, the next day or a couple of days later. This isn't a rush. There is work to be done, and you want to schedule time for the calls. You want to make sure that you are distraction free, and you want to make sure that you have time for the homework. And I would really set aside time every day. The biggest mistake that you can do is watch the training call, whatever, on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and then do nothing until Sunday night, right? Because then you're just cramming, and that's just not the way to do it. This is a program about moving you emotionally into the direction that you want to take in your life, right? And into the direction of the movement that you want to create in this world, and of the message that you want to leave the world with. And what do you want to be known for? So I would set time aside every day. Maybe it's half an hour, maybe it's an hour. I know that you've got some audios to listen to, and there'll be an hour to an hour and a half. I get that you can't set aside maybe 2 hours every day or something like that, but at least do a half an hour a day to tap in and check into it. And maybe bookend your day with this work, because the work isn't just writing, right? The work is also thinking and feeling. So bookend your day with gratitude and a check-in of, okay, well, where am I really? What do I really want? What's the message that I really want the world to hear? What difference do I really want to make in this world? So very thought-provoking exercises. Okay, that away. Okay, I'm going to just do one more check here. I made notes. Okay, now, yeah, good. Okay, so one other piece of homework that you're going to get is another audio and another handout. Now, I have the Break Barriers and Be Successful program has 6 modules, and you're going to be getting 2 of them. The first one is the vision planning, which you already got, the pre-call number 1. And for pre-call number 2, post-call number 1, you will be getting the life planning audio and handout. So all it does is we start with your vision, the great big, what's your vision? And then how does your life fit into the vision? Okay, really important. A lot of people do it the other way around. And I'll just say for business owners, they go, I'm going to have this business, it's going to fit into my life, it's going to fit into my vision. Well, no, that can't work, because you don't know what your vision is. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get there. You don't know the what, the why, the where, the when, and then you sure shit don't know the how. So start with that vision, then create your life, then create the business underneath that, or the talk, or your speaking career, or whatever it is. I did it the other way around. It does not work. I promise you, it doesn't work. If you go with business first, what's going to happen is burnout, overwhelm, frustration, give up, quit. We don't want that. Okay, so I think that covers it for now. Any questions? If I haven't covered anything and you had some questions, pop it into the Facebook forum. And if you aren't even on the forum yet, make sure that you check your emails. And there's a link that says Facebook forum. Click on that and you will, I think, put in a request and we will confirm that you are part of this program and we will accept you. And what I recommend that you do on the forum is just introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is Odette. My URL is odettepeak.com. This is what I do, and I really look forward to meeting people. And I'm going to throw in another sneak peek here. Get to know everybody in the forum, and it's a small group of people, and get to know them and learn from them. And I love it when people say, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? Because there's enough talent in this forum. There's enough excitement in this forum. There's enough wealth of information in this forum for you to be able to just grow as a person and grow in your business. So tap into people. Instead of being all pushy and salesy, like I'm just, here, I'm just so fantastic. What I don't want on the forum is people to just go in there and solicit your stuff. Now, I'm all a big proponent about being able to market your stuff and sell and all this. So, you know what I mean? But do it in a way that is authentic for the group. And the group, although I teach selling, do it in a way that is, I want to get to know everybody and what everybody does. And I want to be more interested in everybody than be more interesting. Best thing I ever learned. Be more interested than interesting. You know that person that's just all about them? We don't want that. So other than that, that's pretty much my rules for the forum. And I think that's it. So I just want to say thank you so much again. I look forward to seeing you in the forum. I look forward to seeing you on the one-to-one if you've got one, if you haven't booked it. And I look forward to knowing and hearing your soul story and your talk as we move through the program. So I am going to say adios for now and stop the recording here, and you will get access to the recording. That's another one. You're going to have access to all of the recordings, so please download them, save them to your computer, and you can listen to them for now and for the next 150 years. Okay? So take care. Adios. Bye.